Hi, guys. Leanne Holitza from the Healing Studio. Time for our weekly check-in. New moon ceremony tonight. Hence the extra. um, I'm using Wild Abundance from Lotus Way for our energy enhancer. And I'm also using Green Apatite, which is really great for getting your goals aligned with basically what your soul purpose is. So if you need a little bit of pick me up, that's a good one. We're going to be using the Cosmic Cat today because it's a new deck I have that I think is super fun. And let's see what else. Tonight's new moon ritual. If you aren't coming to see me, you might try to do something either today or tomorrow. Technically, it's the new moon's happening more in tomorrow's date, but preparing for it tonight. And then yeah, there's some big things this week as far as I know energetically. So we'll see what the cards say. We're using the Yantra deck to do our first set here. If this is the first time that you've joined, you can type me please in the comments and I will get to as many people as I can. Little pro tip here. If you go to YouTube and hit subscribe, it'll let you actually put yourself me please before Facebook will let you. So that's how to get to the top of the list because I see basically the list that I see is a list of a combination of different places. So let's see what else. Next weekend is the Manifesting What You Want retreat. That's basically going to be a manifesting ritual, not necessarily a class, where we're going to do sound bath. We're going to have some clearing, some messages from the Light Council and the guides, and then some intention setting on your part for what you're trying to manifest. So if you need a little mini retreat, next weekend is when that's happening. And we just did the guides group, which was super fun. Always good time with guides, talking to them. But that's probably going to come again in a few months. So just keep an eye out on the schedule if you want to come play. A lot of my stuff is virtual or hybrid, meaning you can come in person or join online. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to put this up. Choop. All right, so this week, devotion upside down. Okay, so this is going to be feeling like pulled in the directions that you don't want to be pulled in. The invitation to be out of alignment with love and in alignment with fear. That's not necessarily something useful for you guys to be doing or any of us. So keep aware of that. The helper card or the focus this week is being complete, having a wholeness, knowing that you already are whole, knowing that there is a dark side and a light side of you, that there's all parts of you are perfect and exactly the way they need to be at this time. End of the week, we got working on those triangles, you guys. It's blessings and receiving. So learning to be receiving those blessings, not just being the giver, but being the receiver. The vacuum of that, not being a good receiver, but just constantly giving will catch up with you. So this is basically saying, like, check in. Right now, are you making decisions out of fear or are you making decisions out of love? And can you make decisions out of love? And then go from there. Okay. So focus on being complete, being whole, feeling like you have everything you need right now. You don't need to put anything else in there. And then go from there. All right. All right. So the me pleases are coming on. So I just kind of give you a heads up of who's at the bottom right as we get started here. I see Maria, Cece, Natalie. You guys are all there. I will get to you as soon as I can. Terry. Hi, everybody. Okay. But here's your first card. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3s. Okay. That way, if you're watching later, you can get a reading as well. Although I encourage you guys, even if you're listening to this later, a lot of times the messages are for all of us. So just kind of be aware of the fact that that's going on, that the messages, the guides kind of get together. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So just feel into your heart, feel into which number is yours. Okay, this is your first card. Ready? If you picked 1, you're working on fullness and giving thanks. Gratitude this week. Heart sinking with your gratitude. Getting into your heart. Being like, my head may say that there's not enough, but my heart knows there is. That's what this would focus for you would be. If you pick 2, you're instigating something. Got to start something. So maybe it's just stirring things up or helping the people around you see how they're fear-minded or they're thinking in ways that aren't necessarily helping them, that kind of thing. If you picked 3, which I did, that's what I picked. Relax. Take a cat nap. So, all right. So there's our messages for this week. That's a very obvious message. Let's get started in the me pleases. This is going to be your focus for the week. This is going to go building on what we've already discussed. Okay. So if that card, the weekly card and the card that you just picked, and now this is going to be going deeper into that. Okay. If you hear a message that feels like it's resonant for you too, it probably is, but your names will appear on the, I always get it wrong on how to point to it. Ooh, there. That's where your name will appear, and just let yourself give a glance up, because sometimes we have two Ginas or whatever. So, all right, here we go. Boop, boop. Melissa, you've got receive. So accept the gift. So that message that's the second time we've heard that message we heard it from the yantra deck, and now we're hearing it again. This week is a good week to notice where you're maybe overgiving and let yourself receive as well. I'm especially hearing it's going to be really important to hear gratitude in the words of others, and take that and receive that gratitude, and be good at receiving compliments this week. Okay. Eat 100 foods. All right, you're going to get prosperity, have it all. Okay, so this week is focusing on your prosperity mindset. I threw it on the ground, sorry. Being able to have a prosperity mindset, thinking about how you are able to align with the fact that when you think and you let the fear go, and you think prosperous and things will happen and things will come, they do. It's just so interesting, right? So do all you can to work on prosperity. I want to show you, because I love these so much. I don't know why. They're just so fun. I have this in my money corner. This is obviously a fake $100 bill, but it's like, look at how detailed and fun that is. Anyway, I have that hanging out in my prosperity corner just for the fun of it. All right. Let's go ahead to Jenny. Jenny, you got focus. Eye on the prize. Okay. So this week for you, it's going to be really important to concentrate on what you want to be coming up next, and get really serious with yourself about focusing on that energy. Don't let yourself get distracted. Don't let yourself decide that there's something else that needs your attention this week. Whatever you decide at the beginning of the week is your devotion to love and your completion. Then you go ahead and receive whatever it is you're going after. Okay. Courtney, you're being asked to take a risk this week. Take a chance. So this is allow yourself to really see that there's something more for you out there, especially if you let yourself dream big, be big, and you let that lack mindset go, the prosperity mindset enhance, and then you go from there. Okay. All right. Liesel, you got self-care, time to cleanse. Okay. So time to just go do all the things you know to do to just bring yourself into just emptying out all that you have carried, or all that you picked up this week. Just anything you can do. I see lots of water maybe for you. So whether that be a hot springs or a bath, or, just going to the pool, whatever it can be, just to kind of get that element of water, kind of getting those stuck emotions kind of fleshing out. Life is big, and it can feel really intense. If we don't get ourselves cleaned up, we just get dirtier and dirtier and junkier and junkier. So, all right, Terry, you've got comfort this week. Take it and give it. Okay. So a little bit of love for you this week, a little snuggles. Let yourself acknowledge that this is a good time to, give and receive, and don't give and receive in the place that is out of fear or out of anger, but instead from that place of love and completion. Okay. Natalie, you've got grudge. Bury it. Don't carry it. Okay. So Natalie, there might be something you're hanging on to that you haven't let go of, or that you're feeling kind of grumpy about. And this is basically saying, like, that just be aware of that. Be aware that that's going to bog you down, and it'll keep you from receiving. Okay. I was somebody just recently asked me if I was healed from something, and I I said, no, probably not, because I'm still holding a grudge about it. I'm still feeling hurt by it. And I can tell that I'm still carrying it around, and kind of layer by layer, it can peel away. I can't just like let it all go all at once. But when there's an opportunity for me to see it kind of outside myself, so like if it's out, in the eyes of someone else or somebody else's experience, and I can see it differently, then that's also an opportunity for me to heal what was up close to me, but then is happening out there too. And then I can kind of see it. So you might think about that. All right. CC, I'm getting to the end of the list fast. These cards are fast and easy to read, that's for sure. Okay, assertive. Take your place at the table. Okay, I think you've gotten this one before for some reason. I feel like your guides are asking you to step up to something, be more present in who you are becoming, and don't worry about like having the right kind of credentials or experience, or you have your own unique self that is needed at the table at this time. So go ahead and come forward. Okay, Maria, you've got a reward coming, and it's going to be important for you to pot forward. Okay, so there's something good happening for you this week, and it would be good to be generous about it or expansive about it. I will tell you that money, the spirit of money loves happiness. I'm not saying that this is necessarily just money, but I'm just saying the spirit of money loves expansiveness. It loves happiness. It loves to exchange. It loves to be fun and creative. When you give it an opportunity to do that, more of it comes. So think of it that way. All right, Cameron, you've got Hunter. Stay with the process, okay? So this is kind of like eye on the prize focus, but this is like, to me, the energy of this Hunter card is like, be observant, keep your eyes open, keep your mouth closed. Don't tell people even what you're doing. You want to be stealthy sometimes about this, right? So it's just, this week is a good week for you to just keep looking for opportunities, but don't necessarily let anybody know what opportunities you're stalking, okay? It's a good week for you to stay open. In particular, I'm seeing even about sharing your talents and your gifts. It's a good week to be on the hunt for opportunity, okay? All right, Kalina, you've got self-confidence. Stand your ground, okay? You may be different. You may be different than someone else. You maybe look like, one of the things the Light Council said at the Light Council Live recently was, wake your loved ones up. It's the nicest thing you can do. Like everybody who's like in the new age seeking space, a lot of us tend to be quiet or subtle or kind of hide because it was, not necessarily mainstream accepted. Well, that's no longer true. It's out there. Like people can accept learning about intentions and clarity and all that stuff, and they can hear it from you. So this is what I'm hearing for you, Kalina, is go ahead and stand up for what you know. Cynthia, you've got B. Choose non-action for you this week. Just look at that cute little cat. Just enjoy, receive some downtime if you can. That's, sometimes it's hard, but the messages that we started off with for this week were, we're acting out of fear. We're not acting out of love. It would be good for us to start being more complete, and it would be good for us to start receiving more. So being obviously helps us receive. Whoop. Okay. All right. Diane, you got entitlement. Check your prima donna. Interesting. Okay. Are you sleeping on too many pillows? You can be justified in what you're asking for, but try not to be entitled, right? So entitled sometimes is missing that there's other people that are, wanting that pillow too, or wanting that space too. And so this card is just kind of asking you to be in check of that. But if you blend that with the receiving card, there's probably something about receiving in balance, and noticing where you maybe are holding on to something because you don't feel balanced somewhere else, and just let that balance kind of come to fruition. Okay, Deanna, you got to expect the best. Okay, so time for you to just have positive expectations this week. I'm hearing from astrological people like this week is a major growth week. Opportunities abound. Now, growth can sometimes be uncomfortable. Let's not be too optimistic, right, about how we'll handle it. But expecting the best is a good way to go, especially when you're in the receiving space. Tiff, your focus for the week. I feel like your guides are just now they're just manifest. from thought to form. I feel like your guys are like, come on now, you know what you're thinking about. And you're just like, I'm manifesting all kinds of things. They're like, yeah, but that one thing that you know is your true calling. So work on what your thoughts are doing this week and notice that they're coming into fruition, and notice again that call out of the fear. Okay. Barbara, you got family, okay, all in the pride. And sometimes family isn't necessarily, see the little chihuahua? Family isn't always just the people who you are, blood related to. This could be people that you just feel very strongly connected to. So this week is a good focus. Maybe even have a little time to get together, have coffee or have a meal together with those people that you feel like are family, okay? Kimberly. Joker, stir it up. So a little bit of a Cheshire cat, little poke with the fingernail, a little bit of extra pizzazz there. Just give yourself a minute to say, I wonder how I can laugh about this or make fun of myself or laugh about the whole situation. That's what that card is saying. All right, Gina, you've got improvisation. Just make it up. You don't know how it's going. You don't know how it's going to go. Just let yourself be free with it all and let yourself make up the next steps. Have fun. Remember to be playful. Remember not to buy into the words of others when it's super serious. Okay. All right. Carrie, your card is also grudge. Bury, don't carry. So if you're feeling a little bit grudgy right now, it's a good time to let that go. Let yourself be in awareness that this is, it's not necessarily a time for all things to be forgiven necessarily, but it could be a time to let things kind of come to fruition and round themselves out. Okay. All right. Nicole and Seth. Nicole, aloof, seek non-attachment. Just ignore the extra drama invitations this week. Okay. Just stay as complete as you can with yourself. Really just try and balance out. All right. And then Seth, you're being asked to pounce. Decide to act. Look at that. Pew! Okay. Pounce on it. Pounce on those opportunities. Pounce on those options to glide into a truth that is more about you taking responsibility for your manifestations. Yeah. Okay, Janice. You've got a teacher. Share your knowledge. You got some things that you maybe can mentor some people on. I definitely get a lot of times, I'm seeing a lot of healing work fizzle because the teachers are getting older and they don't want to do it anymore, but they haven't necessarily passed on their wisdom. And I'm seeing that in other areas as well, like including like computer programming or, skilled nursing or, things like that, where the wisdom's not getting passed down. And so Janice, your guides are actually asking you this week to think about how you could be a wisdom passer and all the things that you've learned and maybe where you want to teach, where you want to, though. It's not a forced thing. It's that completion thing, right? Janelle, you've also got focus. We got this. This is the second time we've seen focus. Focus, eye on the prize. Whatever it is that you want to be coming to fruition, that's what you're going to want to be keeping your eye on. Okay. All right. Donnie, for you this week, you got this is the second time we've seen this one too. Reward, pot forward. So something's going to be coming that's good for you. And you're going to want to think about how you can keep that flow going. Okay. So abundance, here it comes, here it goes, here it comes, here it goes, that kind of thing. Okay. So not necessarily, in a risky way, but in a way that makes sense. Okay. Robin and Jordan. Okay. Robin, you've got wisdom, let your light shine. So this is sort of like the teacher message, except this is also just like also what the Light Council is saying is like, wake your friends and family up. It's important to wake your friends and family up. It's like, it's, it is like, there is a lot more that we know that we can share that maybe we aren't because we think maybe you won't want to know. All right. So now Jordan, you're got just B. So second time today. choose non-action. Just be this week, a little bit of extra downtime, a little bit of time just kind of daydreaming and considering and that kind of thing. Let your mind soften and your body soften and everything kind of synchronize this week, okay? Patty, you have vanity, all right, which is it's all about meow. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because, like, sometimes all we can focus on is ourselves, and that's really sometimes the only thing that it's important for us to actually acknowledge, right? That we are the thing the eyes we sit behind, we are the consciousness that we tend to. So it's important to sometimes be self-focused. So for you, that's what you're being asked to do. All right. I don't know what's happened today as far as getting through this list super fast. I appreciate all of you that are still out there hanging out. If you're just joining and you want a card, let me know by typing me, please. Okay, you're welcome. So while I'm waiting for more of you me pleasing, I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to throw a card for my husband because he's often out there lurking and listening, but doesn't me please because he doesn't want to take away from you guys. Okay, for you, darling, it's a pounce week. Okay, decide to act. Get yourself into alignment with that, and let yourself understand that sometimes there's opportunities that come up, and sometimes there is times when you are being asked to take the opportunity. Okay, all right. Let's see what else the guides want to talk about, because we have definitely had quite a bit of messages around manifesting the spirit of money. That's why the manifesting retreat next weekend is something that we put together, because it's like right now is this build up time for us. It's this time for us to and start to see not just like our minds, but actually fruitions of things. Oh, that's working. Oh, you're welcome, honey. See, I knew you were out there. Anyway, I really feel like this is a good week for with this new moon, we're focused on clearing out some things that are not serving us in regards to our selfishness, and where our selfishness is maybe made us fear-based, like there's not enough for me and I got to put lots of things on my plate, that kind of thing. So just be aware of that. The Light Council has been talking a lot about fear of change and how we've been worrying about change and maybe trying to manage change or manage the change in others. And that fast growth that I told you about this week is about putting yourself in an alignment with kind of like that non-attachment, because the fast growth has to be, if you're attached to how things are, then you're going to have a hard time being attached to letting go of what is, so you can have what is coming. The other thing too is that there's our relationship with beauty and pleasure is a big focus right now. And sometimes, that vanity card that we got kind of came up for Patty, and I see you, Pamela and Tanya. I'll be there just a second. That vanity energy, we sometimes are shameful about it, and it's not always something to be shameful about. It's okay to want to, look cute or or like have a good relationship with your physical beauty and pleasure. That's a good thing. All right, Pamela, coming at you with Instigator. Second time we've seen this card. So got to start something. All right. So this week for you is something to get anything, just get the energy moving. I'm seeing a lot of, stagnation. So you could probably benefit from doing a little bit of a shakeup, even if it's just something simple and small. Tanya, you got the Wildcat. You never know what's lurking. Okay. So this is very much looking for, and that's again, this back to that change and that letting that change be. Sometimes it's really important just to, you can be aware, but that lion is there, but you don't necessarily have to attack the lion. You don't have to, or the panther or whatever it is there. Just because it's there doesn't mean it is actually a threat. Okay. Naomi, I got you. See, you guys are popping in on the due time. Okay, vanity message again. I just started to tell you, It's okay to start to be focused on yourself. It's okay to be focused on your own beauty. It's okay for you to be focused on your own truth. This week it's actually energetically a really appropriate time to be self-focused. Okay, Jacqueline, you're working on envy this week and finding your own. Okay, so if there's anybody you're feeling jealous about, or anybody who's got something that you think, why do you get to have that and I don't? Give yourself a moment just to recognize that and start. And with that message of choosing out of love, choosing out of flow, instead of being like envious, be like, oh, I would like to have that. I intend to have that. I intend to have something like that. Let's move forward to that. Okay. All right. Rihanna, you got manifest. Okay. From thought to form. So whatever you've been thinking about, now is a good week to start putting it on paper, start putting in actions. I'm hearing this week is a good week for a lot of you to be getting in alignment with your jobs. So whatever that looks like. Okay. So putting your resume out, looking for new opportunities, saying yes to the opportunities that are there. So it's a good week to be kind of doing that. So that's something I would say everybody could focus on. Okay. All right. Again, if you're still lurking and haven't done the me, please, and want to, feel free. I'm going to keep talking a little bit about the nature of the time right now. So right now, this is a time of inward looking. This is always a good message to be inward looking, but it's a good time right now to say, I am going to be focused on myself. My changes and directions begin from within, and my point of view is unique to me, and my skills are unique, and I'm going to put those into effect. Now, there's some stuff that's actually going to be going on that kind of that is going to be going on for the rest of the year. And then there's stuff, like I said, this week there's some sped up with just this week. So some of it is about reclaiming unclaimed parts of like your inner child, or things that you used to like do as just a joyful pleasure that maybe you didn't notice. Give yourself a chance to recognize all of that too. Okay. All right, Astrid, you got Hunter. Second time we've seen that card. Stay with the process. You're getting there. Keep paying attention. Don't let go of your vision. Your vision is accurate. Okay. So stay with it. Let's see what else. If you find yourself kind of like grinding or your joy going offline, that might be that your relationship with yourself has kind of stagnated, and it would be good to get out of being like stuck by doing something that's maybe out of your comfort zone. It may be temporary too. It could be we were talking about these yummy macaroons. There's this macaroon place near here that's just amazingly yummy. I have never had a macaroon that I liked so much, and somebody was saying, oh, I don't really like macaroons, and I am telling you this fresh macaroons from this place, they were super yummy. So even if you don't like a macaroon, you might try this one, kind of thing. So that's kind of the pleasure. And these macaroons, by the way, they're like $3 a piece. And they're little. So you're like, ooh, that's the best $3 I've ever spent, kind of thing. Sometimes we can't be in like this nitty gritty stuff like, oh, that's really expensive for just a moment of pleasure or whatever. And instead being in that flow, like, oh, I'm going to let this moment of pleasure come, and I'm going to let myself be in awareness of what that means for me, So and again, if you guys are just joining and you haven't me pleased me and you want a card, feel free. I'm just going to keep talking though about some of this energy. So new moon going through, we're going in that Leo energy, which really has like this, like, I'm the main character, notice me, see me spotlight kind of thing. And so you just want to be aware that this might be a good time for you to be in the spotlight. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we like to play under the radar. Some of us like to go unnoticed. That's probably not what's being called for right now. So if you got just be or rest, maybe it is time for that, but you might be being noticed resting. We've been going up to Boulder for the farmers market or hiking or whatever this summer, and there's so many girls lying out in their bikinis in the sun, right? They're getting their sun on and they're getting noticed by people walking by, right? They're being and getting noticed at the same time. So it could be something like that. It can be okay and safe to be noticed at the same time of just doing your thing and being in pleasure and that kind of thing. So, all right. Well, I think we've come to the end of our time together. I appreciate that you guys have hung out. If you have any questions about events that are coming up, let me know. But tonight's new moon, next weekend's the all-day manifesting retreat. And it's, one of those things where the more the merrier. But we're gonna proceed. It's gonna be a private group it's not gonna be very big. So whoever does show up will be the right people to show up to this thing. So anyways, all righty. Well, have a good new moon. See you later.